We're going to go over the mods for this particular playthrough. Of course, I have Harmony, the in-game wiki, which goes on the next core ideology, and the loyalty expansion. A mod manager, a few different variations of it to help actually sort the stuff out. Some fixes for the alien races to allow some of the patches to work correctly. We have the diseases overhaul, which adds a lot of new things for that. The eject tools, the light odor mods, which I'm going to go ahead and remove now because they were just put in there to help me sort things. That will affect my final mod count, but hey, at least I'm removing mods that don't actually do anything. They're just there to help me order it. Got the age matters, which allows aging to change things a little bit. Smart speed allows me to have all the speed settings. We have smarter construction, which basically helps me build walls and things a lot easier. Deconstruction, which actually makes them rip down the roofs. High density hydroponics, the ability to build Devil Strand in hydroponics. We have the climate control settings here, which allows us to have certain climate events that actually are going to, well, affect these a lot more than they normally would. Got the ruins mod, another load of mods, which I'm removing. Alright, so we have the vanilla insectoids, got the Grim Fridge, deep storage. I'll just tell them to start clicking through these. There's a lot of mods. And anytime I hit one of the lower mod series I forgot to remove, I will remove them. This just allows me to put on any of these buildings if I want to, without having a specific ideology. So I got annoyed with not being able to do a biosculptor because, oh, you didn't do a techno one. Well, if I have the technology, why can't I build it anyway? Well, you didn't choose the meme. I don't care. I should be able to build it anyway. Then say the neural supercharge. Just because my ideology doesn't require it, shouldn't mean that I cannot build it. This allows me to do certain things for food control, obviously. This just allows a random crash landings to occur on the planet, which is there for story reasons. Being able to clear errors is always useful. If you have any questions or comments on these mods, or have any suggestions for mods I need to remove, or if you know of anything that I don't, please let me know in the comments below. Just specify which mod it is and mention that there's some sort of interaction that you know about, and we'll see what we can do with it. This right here I just liked because of the fact I really disliked how that thing would overflow the thing and it just didn't look like it would fit correctly. I understand maybe the hitbox is bigger, but the hitbox isn't as big as the object appears to be. Rim Factory mods are in there to allow certain automation to become a little faster and easier, and I like the storage options. This just allows me, when I get up to the technology where I can, to actually train my colonists significantly easier. For initial things, this is very useful because I can create anesthetic and poisonous traps. And that's here for obvious reasons. There's a lot of different species in here. Just because of the fact I figured why not. And I also add Android tiers for various reasons as well. This just allows me to do things like, well, have them clean the kitchen before they actually start cooking. Because they have the ability of choosing an ideology, having these available allows me to actually convert somebody to an ideology and then do various things with them. And similar to this one. This episode is completely optional, I hadn't already mentioned that. But with one immortal character, I wanted to be able to do this because they could potentially gain skills that are well beyond what a normal person would ever be able to get. And this just helps reduce the degradation of said skills. I had this because of the fact that I was annoyed with the war caskets not be able to do anything at all. So I'll just let it be able to do some of the work. Yeah, this just prevents me from selling lots and lots of the same material over and over again. Oh yeah, that's just cast edition. That allows me to do a lot of things. The Utopia device. Looks like I might need to tweak this one a little bit. Because early enough in the series, if we see any mods you might want to add, we're only about halfway down, we can add potentially certain mods into here. We just have to be a little bit careful because certain mods don't like to play nice with other mods. And no, I'm not installing anything like Combat Extended because that's a major overhaul the way everything works, and I have to redo everything from the ground up. Itself, this video is just literally going over every single mod that's in here. So I'm going to skip the configuration because that would literally take eternity to go through all of these mods' configuration. So yeah, we're just going to go and let this thing run. And we're just going to go through and show it. Certain mods on here I did modify though that they're not available till further on through the quality of life mods. This one I added because of the fact that why not? I might tweak a few settings on it. It's not a bad mod overall for just making the world more customizable. But I did raise the cost of every single thing related to it quite a bit. Yeah, I've got quite a few mods in here about diseases. We're working from the Neolithic era all the way up to Spacer, so yeah, we're going to be dealing with some interesting technology. This was added in here for some ideology concepts I was building, and because of the fact that this ideology will evolve over time, perhaps at some point they'll realize that sight is deceiving them, and maybe they want to get rid of it. But as I said, this whole thing is designed to basically be changed over time. Every single colonist, every single person, they all change as the world grows and as they get into it deeper. And if we start doing human harvesting like this, we could always just build a human. Or if we actually get up to advanced enough technology, there's other options for it too. Very specific mods you want to see the configuration of, just go ahead and put a comment below. We'll take a closer look at it later. Because I do have some mods being tweaked by other mods, being tweaked by other mods, and being tweaked by other things that allow me to do even more with them. added this in so we have with a we can better mess around with radiation. Then if they end up dying, well, we always have the ability to harvest them. This just allows me to do things like once I get up to tech level where I can talk to other colonies, I can actually install a faction and get raids. This just helps get rid of some of the overlays to help not destroy my compression while actually doing videos. Yes, I've got a lot of different hairstyle and face mods on here too. Because I figured, why not? I added rim repeller because the fact, why not? Have this in here to prevent mechanoid raids from the beginning. Not saying they can't have wandering animals that are similar to mechanoids, but why would mechanoids be interested in you if you don't even have enough technology to catch their attention? This I just added because I got really annoyed with tech prints, but I did modify it so that it requires a lot more research times that would have had tech prints. Just allowed me to do fancier buildings. As I said, every single thing I've got into here was put into here for various reasons. From fortifications, from how certain things are built. It was all built in there for a reason. This one I gated pretty heavily because of the fact it's extremely overpowered. At this point, I've only recorded a few episodes, so I figure we might as well go over these and actually make them make sense. There are still a few errors being hidden by this system, nowhere near as bad as it used to be. And some of the things I just put in there for specifically things like this, where as the pages progress, we can throw some of the old weapons into here as a bit of a museum. only weapons that were used by the immortal that he wants to hold on to. And of course, I put the mint chocolate mod in here just because of the fact of being able to use mint for more than just, well, a seasoning. And I thought it'd be funny. I added this one just because of the fact I once again I thought it'd be funny to add. This one I also gated pretty heavily. It's a very powerful mod on its own. I did that because of the fact that this will have a purpose later on as well. And that's the end of the list. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and we'll see what happens from here.